Are you considering a purchase of your very own subcompact tractor? Are you overwhelmed by all the attachments available and how they connect and disconnect to the tractor? Well, today Ken comes to our house to visit with a lot of the same concerns you have. We'll walk through attaching and detaching most of our implements. We'll see Ken operating most of these attachments for the very first time. So sit back, grab a cheeseburger, and enjoy the show. What do you think?
A very good turning radius.
Yeah. When you think about turning radius, there's the four-wheel drive lever right down there. Push that forward and you'll put it into four-wheel drive. Okay? It will change your turning radius dramatically. Didn't take him long with that, did it? Makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, it's just like any four-wheel drive vehicle, truck, whatever.
Yep.
They don't like it.
Now he wants me to be a tree. What do you think of that? You can get closer than that to me, can't you?
My trees aren't any closer than this.
No snow today, so we're gonna have to go get a different attachment here pretty soon. So we've got the blade off of the front here, and it's already off. Now we just need to do the hydraulics. So the first step to undoing the hydraulics is to run that joystick the whole 360 degrees to let all the pressure off all the hoses. Now the next is just to start unhooking the hoses. And the way you do that is you pinch back right here. Okay?
You don't care which one's first.
I don't care which one's first.
Well, it's almost inherent that you're going to get leakage.
Now, the next step is to get them out of that little circle there. And you do that by kind of holding them one at a time sideways, yeah. Okay, and then just throw them up all over the front there somehow. Okay, now we need to back the tractor up a little bit here and kind of drive it right in toward the loader. Okay, so now the step is to hook up the hydraulics on the loader. Okay, I think that's perfect. And the objective is to bring this greasy spot right here.
Yep.
And put it right down in there. And we'll do that with the hydraulics. Yeah, there it's in. Now, keep lowering it. Okay. These are some roller skates that I made so that I could keep it rolling around. I got those wheels at Harbor Freight. And those are just 2x4s. This is a good example of watching someone work with the 1025R for the very first time. Ken's fairly experienced with a smaller garden tractor. He's fairly experienced with some farm background back in the day. But he really has never used a 1025R. A lot of this is truly new to him. And here I thought it took a lot of skill to run this thing. A lot of practice and skill. So I'm learning a lot that it doesn't take much time. Either that or Ken's sandbagging on how much skill he's actually got doing this kind of stuff.
It's just amazing. It's like I've got the 48-inch deck on my tractor.
Yeah.
And I want a 54.
Yeah.
And it just is amazing that this looks so much bigger.
Really?
Yeah. It's just, you know. You wouldn't think that 6 inches would be that much bigger.
I don't know if you've seen my center anti-scalp wheel video or not.
Yeah, I have.
So you can see that that's held up. Part of what's going to allow us to drive over this thing is the friction that makes against the ground. And so the fact that I've got this up on the center roller restricts that a little bit.
Okay.
But you'll see that if we're in four-wheel drive, we can still get over it. But it would not skid quite as much if we had that wheel. And if you saw mine, I can remove this spring key and let that thing float loose.
So were you scalping a lot?
Yeah, scalping a good bit because there's no wheel in front or in the back. I'm sure yours has, even your 48 inch.
It didn't come with a wheel.
Oh no, these don't.
Okay, it didn't.
No,
come
and
with this
not even the
scalp wheel in
60s.
front.
Oh no.
Okay, see, mine
And the
does
reason,
that.
because the auto
You need
connect,
the
they need
friction.
this. They
Okay.
need the skid.
And then also these tires, these wheels weren't doing their job either.
Well, they're not supposed to be touching the ground.
No, they're not. But they're a type of an anti-scalp also.
Yeah, but if with these particular ones and with these mowers, you about have to have them essentially touching the ground to keep to keep the mower doing a decent job. I don't think they'll mow quite as good as your other mower. Okay, just to be blunt. Okay, you want to try drive it on?
Okay. So this is like going into the car wash.
That's perfect. Okay.
Has it happened yet?
It snapped, at least on this side. Pick up your 3-point hitch and you'll know whether it worked or not. And what I see is that as long as the front of the mower comes up, it works perfectly, and it did. Pull the lever there and you'll turn the mower on, the yellow one. If we were going to mow, we would take that, and I usually mow in about that position, which kind of illustrates a negative. You can't mow much higher than the normal, you know.
Okay, so there's not numbers. It's low, medium, and high.
Yeah, the new 2 Series actually has inches. I don't know if you've seen any of the.
How accurate is it?
Well, no one's mowed with one yet. Okay, you can go ahead and set it all the way down again. Okay. Now hop off and get right down here. Now see if you can see that. It can be a little bit hard to flip. Yeah, pull that upward. Yep, there you go.
It helps if you go the right direction.
Now that's all we need to do to back off of it.
Nothing else.
Nothing else. So you've seen several things here, Ken. What do you think?
I think it's all exciting. It is. The tractor, all your attachments you have, you know, it's all good stuff.
Which things do you think you would get?
Probably the front end loader, a mower, a tiller. That's what I would be after for.
You don't think you'd get a blade? Because you got a blade now.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I would have to have a blade. I plow too much snow.
Yeah.
On my little tractor, just like yourself. You do the neighborhood.
They'll do the neighborhood.
I've done the neighborhood and I do the street. It's nice. It's just very nice.
Yeah, and you know the thing is they don't lose that much value, so you feel like it's costing you a ton of money, and it'll cost you some money, but if you can keep it 7-8 years, and if you can still sell it for even 5,000 difference, that's not that much more than a lawnmower.
The depreciation on them, what you look at, if like you go to the machinery finder, it's very little when you start looking at. They start out with 2017s, 2016s, and you go down, to the 2012s and things like that. The depreciation isn't there, so they hold their value very well. And maintained properly, there's no reason why it should not.
Mine's just as good as new. I suppose the tires are a little bit worn, but other than that, it's just as good as a new one. I really don't.
You got to stop driving it to work.
Yeah, I drive it to work. I get out every evening and take him for a run.
Yeah.
And he likes to get out. We've kind of demonstrated everything. We had the snow blade on to start.
Yes, we have.
Then we put the loader, and you put everything up in the
Use the forks.
racks there.
The forks.
You did a great job with that. Now you have to tell me that you've used forks before somewhere.
Yeah, fork truck in our local garage I worked in. We had a fork truck, so anytime you needed something done, you got the fork truck. We didn't have a driver.
Okay, so compare this. Compare the handiness of these forks with a fork truck.
They're just as handy. I'd have to get used to them again. The other ones, we actually had I think it was a tow motor, propane engine, but it was easy to operate. Just really a quick stick, and so it's just a matter of getting used to it. Also, it'd be like turning your seat around and having your steering wheel and your forks right down there too.
Yeah.
I realize you got to take your time. Get in there, look over the side, make sure you're seeing your forks, and make sure you're seeing your pallet.
I think you hit on a key point there about everything about this tractor. You've got to take your time. You got to be patient because it won't do anything as fast as the specific purpose item. You know, it won't. The forks aren't as good as the fork truck. The backhoe's not as good as a mini excavator. The lawnmower is not quite as good as a dedicated zero-turn lawnmower, perhaps. But none of those other devices will do everything that this will do. This is quite the ultimate multitasker.
And it does it all very well too.
Yeah, it does a good job of every one of those tasks.
I don't see anything that what you've done in your videos or the potential for it that leaves anything desired. Yeah, maybe it did take you a little bit longer, but you were able to do it yourself, not have somebody else come in and dig your holes and with your trench load your rocks and all those things.
Yeah, and so financially it may not be that much difference, but you really have to realize that's the rewarding part of it. Right, that's the part that makes it fun.
It is a lot of fun.
Okay, well, when you get your 1025R, we'll have to come over and take a look at it. Maybe we'll bring ours over and we can do a 2-tractor project.
Well, I've seen them do an awful lot of do-si-dos on tractors, so maybe. So, thanks for joining us on Tractor Time with Tim again. I'm Kenny. Tim is right behind the camera. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. We'll see you all later.